Remember that our goal is not to blow up our boat, but to lift it out of the water.
It's all ready to go.
And 2, I know this hat isn't regulation, but it's a lot more comfortable than a chapeau bra. All right, everyone, this is for real. Fire in the hole, fire in the hole. Detonating the boat in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Little disposable lighters come with a long list of warnings.
Never puncture or put in fire. Never exposed to heat above 120 degrees Fahrenheit or to prolonged sunlight. So I believe that each one of these items is here because probably of a specific lawsuit, but each one of them also is a test that we can do.
So I got one for you.
Okay, what is it?
A lighter is sitting on a dash of a hot car, and it explodes.
We've done tons of hot car stuff, and that is perfect. The question would be, how hot can they get, and would that make a lighter potentially fatally explode?
Yeah, they get pretty hot in there. Let's do it.
All right.
This time, instead of heating up an entire car, Jamie has an oh-so-convenient alternative.
Okay, Adam, I got the toaster oven.
That's our car?
That's our car.
That's perfect.
This isn't exactly a dash of a car, but it is a controllable thing that we can get to the correct temperature. Dashes of cars actually get surprisingly hot. They get up around 180 degrees, give or take. So we should be able to set this at that temperature, put a lighter in there, and see what happens.
In goes the passenger.
Now it's another stupefyingly boring Mythbusters wait fest. You get to watch it all just happen. You're gonna cut to the explosion inside of 5 minutes, but I've gotta wait for like 3 hours.
A stupefyingly boring hour later, the heat hasn't affected the lighter at all.
It's been at 140 degrees for that entire hour, and I'm not getting anything, so I'm gonna ramp it up.
He dials up the temperature.
It's climbing.
The toaster oven is now at 190 degrees. Adam and his little nemesis are having a standoff.
It's just a waiting game, and it's exhausting. I've been working on this for 3 hours now, and I still don't have what we're looking for here, a catastrophic failure of a lighter in a hot car.
Even at the highest temperature the dash of a car could ever get, the lighter still hasn't lost its cool. But Jamie is confident he can put Adam out of his misery.
I can get this thing up to about 500. I know my toaster oven.
500 degrees? That's hot.
Now we're up to 350, on our way to 400. This shouldn't take long. In fact, I can already see the cracks forming. Oh! Well, that was an explosion. No fire, but that was a bang. Oh! Actually, there was fire.
Jamie got the lighter to blow in just 5 minutes.
This end piece shot out like a bullet and actually blew a hole in the tray.
How about another, just for the heck of it?
You got your flame. Yeah.
It sure looks cool, but in the real world, cars don't get that hot.
The minimum temperature that we were able to get one of these lighters to melt to the point that it released its gas was about 350 degrees. And I don't know of any cars that get into 350 degrees, even in the desert in the summer. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's not happening unless there's something else at play.
So, to recap, we got bupkis out of the dryer, we got nice explosions out of the golf club hot car and the welder.
Yeah, but these myths are about whether or not this is a lethal situation. And we don't know what kind of injuries you'd sustain. We don't really know whether it's lethal or not.
Right. Well, I mean, that leads to the next step here, which is to get a human analog and try out the most common one, the welding, on that human analog and see if the explosion of the lighter next to it causes any visible or significant damage. Pork! Yeah, I suppose it's more pork.
I like a pork butt.
Adam and Jamie attach a welder to a C-stand and put a steel plate in front of it.
Wait.
Next, they dress a ham hock in working man's overalls and put a lighter in the pocket. Now that's one rugged bore.
All right.
What'll be very telling about the level of damage is if we get a like, whoo, and all of a sudden the whole area is bathed in flame.
Right. In 3, 2, 1.
The hot slag drips onto the jeans, and about 15 seconds later, they catch fire.
That would seem like more than blue jeans just burning there.
I would imagine.
But even though the denim is flaming, the lighter doesn't puff.
We got some burns in our
That was
pig.
only from the welding.
Yeah, that's only from the welding slag.
They reposition it and try again.
You got a working lighter and the vertical pocket this time. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, that was quicker.
Yeah, that was a lot quicker. Now you're starting to hop around. You're like, geez, oh my God, ah, shoot, dude, pull me out.
Once again, your favorite jeans would never be the same. But you would walk away to weld another day.
Again, I think it's a hot metal burn, but not a lighter burn, and these just aren't exploding.
Yeah,
They're slowly releasing their gas.
that ball of flame, it just goes kind of poof. And unless you're wearing plastic clothing like polyester or something like that, it's not going to go up in flame. It's going to deflect most of it.
Looks like the guys have extinguished this myth.
I don't care what anybody says. The explosion from one of these lighters is not lethal, and that makes all of these myths, at least in terms of deadliness, busted.
Well, that was a single lighter. We just need more. We have this thing from a British newspaper that says a salesman's car burst into flames in Brussels when liquid gas in 500 cigarette lighters exploded in the hot sun.
Let me see this. That's you just read the whole article. I mean, there's not much to go on here.
It's right down our alley.
I guess we don't need any more information than this. All right, let's do it.
The plan is to get a car and put a heating element and 500 lighters inside. As the lighters melt and release their gas, the guys will trigger a remote ignition source, and hopefully the vehicle will take a trip skywards. So where better to conduct this potentially highly flammable myth than at a water control plant?
Good.
And who better to have on hand than the City of South San Francisco Fire Department?
Howdy, guys. How are you? How are you?
Adam explains the setup to the guys.
As long as you don't blow up the city, we're fine with it. So
That's always our goal, controlled explosions. And this one should be, well, we're hoping it's major, but even if it's major, it's still pretty minor.
Yep, there's some major insight into the workings of the Mythbusters' mind right there. Adam positions the vehicle chosen for the sacrifice in a high-walled concrete bunker.
That ought to do.
Then he fills up the interior with 500 disposable lighters, stacking them in rows.
When all this is expanded, this is over 1,000 cubic centimeters of butane gas. A few more, just for flavor, like a spice.
A series of holes are drilled into the top of the car and wire inserted through it. Then the heat source, a vacuform machine, is raised above the lighters. A vacuform is normally used to make molded plastic packaging and gets up to a scorching 800 degrees. And just in case the vacuform doesn't ignite the gas, they have a backup plan.
In trying to hedge our bets, we're trying to create a flame bar. Ignition will occur at the start with a neon transformer that'll create a spark. That spark will ignite a gasoline-soaked rope, which will travel down inside the car. This rope will continue to burn down to the point where it sets off the ignition.
Perimeter clear.
Ready to initiate experiment.
Everyone and everything is in position and ready to blow.
I think what we're gonna see is a fireball, and then this thing's gonna be nice and crispy Cajun fried within 5 minutes.
Sounds delicious. The heating element is switched on.
Okay, we're at 3 minutes. We should start to see some of these start to blow their fuel out.
Under the extreme high temperature, the lighters cook fast.
Oh, there we go. There we go. We just lost one. One went. Oh, there goes
Now
another one.
We can see ignition any time.
Oh,
So
there goes another one. They're just going about every second now.
Just like popcorn, one after another, they burst and release their butane. Anyone got any melted butter?
It's working like clockwork. I love that.
And there should be plenty in there to get ignition. It might be time for me to...
Hit the sparker.
You think so?
It's going to be very close to an optimal ignition ratio.
I'm going to go for it.
All right.
Jamie mans the switch for the sparker.
Count it down.
3, 2, 1. Yeah!
That was beautiful! Dude, it blew out the back window.
And the rest of them are starting to go now.
Poop, poop, poop! Dude, that was so cool. That concussion was magnificent. It knocked the windows right out.
If you needed one more reason to give up smoking, there it is.
I saw the fire leap across the lighters, boom! And then I looked over here just in time to watch that back window flying off the car. I mean, it was awesome. Look at that, it blew out all the glass.
So if you ever want to take 500 disposable lighters for a drive, turn up the air conditioner.
I want to seal this and hang it on the wall. This is magnificent. This is just what I was hoping to end up with. A little modern art, charred and burnt.
And where does all this impressive debris leave our exploding lighter myths? Back in the 1930s, there was nothing funnier than watching an automobile deconstruct after a minor collision. Okay, it's still funny.
I told you not to make that last payment.
But these days, we're less inclined to laugh at catastrophic car failure. Adam and Jamie have gone into meltdown trying to replicate the myth of the exploding bumper. Jennifer Schmid said the bumper that broke her leg traveled just 15 feet, but the myth we're working with says 50. So far, Adam and Jamie haven't managed to shoot a bumper 5 inches.
Damn it. Man, this one is kicking my butt. I mean, we are just not seeing any of the exploding bumper action we're trying to get out of these shocks.
Well, yeah, but it kind of makes sense. I mean, these things are designed to not fail catastrophically.
We still have to get that shot. We still have to see a bumper shooting 50 feet through the air, so how do we get that?
When in doubt, C4. Well, maybe not C4, but you get the picture.
Yeah, I do.
So now, throwing caution and custom to the wind, they're engineering the spectacle we've all been begging for. Jamie cuts 2 massively upscaled pistons, and the plan here is to stuff them with sand, water, and explosives. The best venue in these situations, as always, is the bomb range.
Like a surgeon. Nicely done. We've got one main thing to do before we run this experiment, which is attach the bumper to the car. And it's got a little more support than your average bumper. These explosive pistons are about 14 inches deep, and I need to hog out enough of the car's structure to get this puppy in there to attach the bumpers.
Adam enthusiastically hogs out the front end, making room for Jamie's upscaled, hand-built pistons.
I think that's pretty much it.
Now for the explosive bit. To make it happen, we've re-enlisted the man who set a similar charge for motorcycle flip, pyrotechnician Matt Herron.
Boom.
Boom.
We're ramping it up, which is kind of what we do on this show. So in this case, what we're doing here is putting the same amount of gunpowder that we used just a little while ago on motorcycle flip to shoot a motorcycle that weighed, 250 pounds or so straight up in the air.
Well, the timing was perfect.
If you say so, Junior. In this case, all we've got to do is launch about 50 or 75 pounds straight that way. So it's going. So what do you think? Charge in the end, sand the rest of the way?
Sounds like a plan, yeah.
Adam's plan is to place a mannequin exactly 50 feet in front of the car, just like the myth says.
Be cooperative, love.
For some reason, he's overcome by an urge to paint it red.
Well, that increases its visibility.
Meantime, Jamie's focused on the details of the detonations.
Now, instead of compressed gas, we're going to put some gunpowder and a bunch of wet sand in here.
Okay.
Why the wet sand? Well, if we just packed this with gunpowder, we'd have a pipe bomb. So the wet sand actually acts as a shock absorber for the gunpowder, and it translates that bang into forward movement.
Matt connects both charges to the same circuit,
This is my favorite part.
so the two shocks should blow simultaneously. Jamie lards up the cylinders to minimize the friction,
That ought to do it.
and the bumper gets refitted. Nice and tight.
It's good right there.
Perfect. What do you think?
I think we're gonna hit this guy. I think this thing's gonna fly 50 feet. I have a good feeling.
I think the bumper's going to stay still and the car's going to go up the hill.
You don't really think that?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So Matt sets the twin fuses,
We're fully armed?
We're hot.
and hopefully we're about to get the finish we've come to expect.
All right, simulated bumper blast in 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Damn.
wow. We may have overdone that.
Overdone is a word we discourage here on Mythbusters. The trajectory was perfect, the mannequin's a shattered wreck, and hey, we got what we came for.
Well, it definitely flew 50 feet.
Oh, look, it's up there on the hill.
Wow.
It's like we're going to have to get another dummy. We go through these mannequins like candy.
They had to fudge the method, but now we have an insight into how unlikely a 50-foot blast must be. The bumper that smashed Jennifer's leg broke in 3 because the two shocks didn't explode in unison. We needed Matt's expertise and 2 plugs of gunpowder to make that happen. Still,
These red stripes right here, those are your kneecaps. Now, granted, we might have exaggerated a little bit with this, but we know that this did happen with a very similar device with a car fire. So if you see a car fire, you shouldn't stand around it. You might get hurt.
I'm pretty happy. We came here to make a bumper fly 50 feet, and we totally exceeded that. It's a good test.
hey, it's a great test, but simultaneous catastrophic failure and a 50-foot launch? No way in the wide world. This one's busted. To find out if you can ever blow a ship clean out of the water, Adam and Jamie have floated their boat.
And she's in.
Now they need to sink their depth charge.
Oh, doesn't really pinchy. A little pinchy. Ow, it's actually quite pinchy.
This thing is normally a septic tank, but we're not going to use it for that.
There we go. That's it. Awesome.
We're going to fill it with explosives and hang it underneath our boat to see if we can blow that boat out of the water.
Hey!
That's the plan, but it's not just explosives that'll be inside.
Sand!
So we need this bulb to sink once it's full. And we've calculated that to do that, if we put 2,500 pounds of stuff in here, it's not going to float. So given that we intend to put 1,000 pounds of our explosive in here, we need 1,500 pounds of something else. So that's why we're using sand,
Yeah, go ahead. Get in, Captain Heineman.
which is going to give us the correct amount if we put about 50 bags of sand in here before we put the explosives in. I like this thing. It's kind of cute, isn't it? Yeah, it's surprisingly stable.
But before adding the explosives, first, it's anchors away.
It's critical for our experiment that the boat stays exactly where we put it. So we are running into the reeds right now to set an anchor and a line which will go all the way across the lake and anchor our boat precisely where we put it so it doesn't move from there. It's like D-Day, except we're fighting reeds.
Having the boat drift out of place could spell disaster.
Yeah! That's it.
So it's no surprise that Jamie is taking this job very seriously.
Nice.
Adam? Not so much.
All right, sir. What do you need?
Seriously?
So I figured I'd get in the mood.
Whatever.
With the boat finally locked, there's only one ingredient left.
Let's get the bomb.
Let's do it.
1,000 pounds of ANFO.
Well, there it is. That stuff's gonna go into our bomb and, boom.
At this point, some of you might be wondering why we're using ANFO instead of something high explosive like C4.
I'd say that's a pretty good fit.
Well, there's actually a really good reason for that. It's a specific choice. It, in fact, is a slower speed explosive, and we want that push. See, slower explosives are used to push things. High explosives are used to crack them into pieces. We want the ANFO to lift this boat, not C4 to slice it in half.
By using ANFO, the guys are giving this myth a helping hand.
Let's go ahead and tie it in.
But will 1,000 pounds of it, a typical amount used in both mines and torpedoes, be enough to lift the boat high and dry?
Well, I think that ought to do it. We're sealed up.
To find out, the team tows the bomb to the boat before sinking it to a depth of 30 feet, exactly midway between the bottom of the hull and the bottom of the lake. Then, it's go time.
For those of you playing our home game, I'd like to cover two distinct things. One, remember that our goal is not to blow up our boat, but to lift it out of the water.
It's all ready to go.
And two, I know this hat isn't regulation, but it's a lot more comfortable than a chapeau bra.
All right, everyone, this is for real. Fire in the hole, fire in the hole. Detonating the boat in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boy, that's anticlimactic.
The guys have wired up a new detonation device that's good to go.
All right, everybody. Blowing the boat out of the water for reals this time in 3, 2, 1, go.
Look at that!
That was astonishing. What a geyser!
We did blow the boat out of the water, but there is no more boat.
I think technically what we did was we separated the boat into hundreds of little pieces, which we then blew out of the water.
Yeah, that works.
Okay.
Well, our blast happened about 10 minutes ago, and the surface of the water is still incredibly agitated. It's like the water is still reeling from what we did. Absolutely one of the most astonishing phenomena I have ever been lucky enough to witness. Unfortunately, we didn't blow the boat out of the water. We just blew the boat out of existence.
The goal was to lift the intact boat up and out of the water, something that clearly didn't happen. So was it a case of too much explosive, or is there another explanation at hand?
I figure what actually happened here was really quite simple. When the bomb went off, it created a bubble of rapidly expanding gas, which eventually made its way to the surface of the water, where the boat was. Now that opened effectively a conduit through which all of that energy could flow, where it can follow a path of least resistance, and that happened to be straight up right through the bottom of that boat, and that's why it was so destructive. So the way I see it, unless the boat this is happening to is incredibly strong, there's no Goldilocks formula of amount and placement of explosive that is going to gently lift it out of the water. What's always going to happen is this literal upward-facing cannon blast, which is going to punch a hole and decimate the boat. And so, as far as I'm concerned, it's not looking good for the Myth.
Jamie's theory seems sound, and the footage of a near vertical blast with very little debris flung to the side does back it up. So what's the verdict?
How do you want to call this?
Well, it's busted. There's no boat left.
There's no boat left.